Hi, team. It is nice to see you all here today. Welcome to our next group project. This is an interesting group project. We work for a retail location that sells women's clothing. So it's a little boutique. If you've ever seen those little boutique stores, they often have them near the beaches. And in this case, they're called Aggreshop. And just like a regular boutique, they tend to be a little bit pricier and have some unique goods. And it's one of those situations where it is evident that our salespeople are on commission because as soon as someone walks in the store, they're all over them. We're going to have a look at a customer interaction. And we have three components to this assignment. So I thought it'd be great if I just shared with you the top level. I'm going to share you the three components that you're going to be working on as a team. And then I'm going to give you some recommendations for each of those little components there. And then I'm going to let you get to work. So let us get started today. Let me share my screen here. And let's take a look at Aggreshop. So I will warn you, this website that we're going to look at for this for this type of business, it is not very gender neutral. So just keep that in mind. When you look at the website, it looks like it was made in 1980, very basic. It's one of those that they haven't updated in years, but we're going to take a look at it in just a moment here. So we have three components. The last component we're going to focus on is that company blog, and we're going to communicate a negative change internally. And so we'll talk a little bit about that later. And then we're also going to do our customer service standards. So before we begin, I want to share with you a little bit about the company. Look, look at this customer website. I mean, this company website and blog. You can see again, very basic. This site is all about our trendy, inspired Aggreshop customers, and it talks about how we're here to service them and give them the latest in trends. You'll notice on the left side, there's an opportunity for customers to complain or compliment. If I was doing this website, I would do it the opposite, but that's just me. So we're going to focus on a customer complaint and recognize, just like we did with a tweet or an X post, remember that 8 billion people can see it. It doesn't mean they're all going to see it, but there is an opportunity for there. So we want to make sure that we are very positive in our correspondence. So, just like a lot of websites out there, there is a public view, an employee entrance, and then a manager entrance with that special key, right? So, we just looked at the public view, and some of the information I'm going to share with you, I want you to imagine that it's coming from this employee entrance right here. So, just be considerate of that. And then we have a management entrance, and Andrea Jewell is the woman that we're going to be working with today. She is the CEO of this company, and she takes great pride in her company. And every time someone gives a complaint or a compliment, she looks at it and she takes it to heat. She knows her customers pay her bills, and she's very considerate of that. She also built this brand from nothing. So she wants to make sure that every customer is satisfied. And she's been getting a lot of complaints. So we are going to be fixing that for her. She brought us together and she wants us to write customer service standards for sales associates. I'm going to go into it in great detail a little bit later. But if you remember in the Dewey, Write, and How case, do you remember that? Where I had you write three things you the employees are to do before they actually come into the office, three things on their first day, three things afterwards, but they were very bullet point, very basic and succinct. This time it is going to be the exact opposite. We are going to be as specific as possible. Bonus, I have a little cheat for you there because Andrea has already come up with some recommendations. So all we need to do is modify her recommendations. So we'll take a look at that. But before we do that, I want you to see an actual customer interaction at an Aggreshop. So let's get started here.
Oh my gosh, can we stop in here for a minute?
Do we have to?
Yes, I wanna go look at some of the dresses there. They always have really great stuff.
Oh God, again? You always hate that place.
Well, I mean, the staff are annoying, yes, but like, it's really cute. Come on.
Fine, just not for like 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. That's all I'm giving you.
Why are you filming?
I don't know. You said this place was crazy. I figured I'd get this on film. You know, document
I hate film majors.
All right, I'm sorry.
Hey, let's go.
Hi, can I help you find anything today?
Oh, no thanks, I'm just gonna look around. Thanks.
Well, just so you know, we have a sale going on.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
25% off shoes if you buy a pair of jeans.
Oh,
and we've got a
okay.
whole room back here that's also on sale.
Alright, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, those are great, just so you know. They're really comfortable. I have a pair.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad. That's very nice.
We have way more sizes in back too. I think
Oh.
that's the only one up here, but we do have all the other sizes in the back if you need me to get anything for you.
Yeah, thanks. No, I'm just looking.
Okay.
It's fine, thanks.
But if you need different sizes, different colors, just let me know. I'll see what I
Yeah.
can do.
Okay.
God, really feed these people here.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know if you saw
Me.
this one. This is way in the back, but this would look absolutely amazing. And
Okay.
it's sort of in two pieces. It's got like an open back thing going on, but it's so wonderful for the summer, and the fabric is so
Is it?
light.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to look at that up. See on the ceiling there. Could you get that for me? I
green
know,
one?
like the green one. I don't want to be a jerk, but could you?
Could you
Yeah.
get it down for me?
Yeah,
we
wonderful.
have a tool in the back.
That would be great.
I'll
Yeah.
go get that.
Big
for you.
ladder
Thanks.
thing.
Thanks so much.
Great call. Let's get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, I told you so.
Shut up.
I knew that was going to happen.
Shut up. I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
All right.
You and me both. Don't
Point
worry.
taken. Point taken.
Don't worry.
Okay.
You don't have to convince me.
Put away that camera,
All right.
please.
Hey, so we see that customer interaction. Whenever I see a commission sales rep, I feel for them. I know it's their paycheck, but it's very frustrating to just be inundated with their presence and not really listening because they're so interested in just making that sale. And even representatives, like when I worked at the bank, I was a teller. That was my get through college job. And we had quotas that we had to make. So if you ever go to the bank and they're asking you, hey, do you need to open up a sales account? Are you buying a car? Do you want to get a loan? Feel for the bank reps. They have quotas that they have to make. So just be considerate of that. So I want you to think about the customer service standards. If you were a customer, how would you like to be treated? What should the sales rep stop doing? What should they start doing? And we're going to take a look at the customer service standards in just a moment. So that's your first little part. Write those customer service standards. Next thing we need to do is we need to communicate those changes to the sales associates. We're also going to do another change that is they are not going to like, and that is we are reducing their commission rate from 10% to 5%. That is going to be a direct pay cut to them. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. So just keep that in mind. That is point 2. Also, we're going to share with them that they are to follow these new customer service standards and they will be reprimanded if they do not. I want you to recognize people do not like to change. Think about where you sit in the classroom. It is probably the same every single time. We do not like change. We are creatures of habit. So any change, people tend to get a little bit defensive. So we need to modify our response accordingly. So that's part 2. Next thing we're going to do, let me skip over here. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, is we are going to respond to a customer blog complaint. So let's get into that. So what we're going to do is we're going to respond to a blog post, recognize that blog post, think of them as text. There's no particular formatting needed, I do recommend that you say, dear customer, or call them by name if you can. Acknowledge, apologize, amend. Those are the three A's I want you to think about. Acknowledge, apologize, and amend. And this is what you are going to be responding to. Leave me alone. I'm tired of being followed around the store by your sales associate. At one point, I almost bumped into one of them who was right behind me. It was a little creepy, actually. Your customer commitment cracks me up. Exceed their expectations for personalized service. What if I just want to be left the blank alone? So, those are the three components that you are going to be responding to. So, that's high level. Now I'm going to go into the three components and then I'm going to let you get to work. So, first things first, as I mentioned, Andrea, our CEO, has already written customer service standards. Now, often, I will be honest with you, as you get up in management, you tend to get a little disconnected. So, I want you to think about what you like about her post, what you don't like, and amend it. So, I believe in working smarter, not harder. What I would do if I was in your position is I would read this. Okay, so if just like Dewey right now, we had before, the day of, and after. She has three components too: greeting the customer and offering assistance, making item recommendations, and completing the sales transaction. Three components, but she wants it as detailed as possible. I want you to recognize what the mission is. Let me make this a little bit, whoa, I went a little too big there. Let's get into the mission. We pride ourselves on providing each customer with the highest quality so she can be the talk of the town. As you can see, it's a little bit dated there. We have the utmost respect for our customers and their impeccable taste, so on and so forth. So, what I would do if I was in your situation as a team, I would copy this. Do, 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 do. I would open a new document. And let's see if it opens for me. I may need to stop share and open up a new document and then paste it. So I already have this going on. Now, what I want you to do, I don't want you to just turn this in. That's unacceptable. I want you to read it line by line and see what you would do differently. Your goal is if a new employee came up off the streets, they just got hired, they should be able to read this and be able to get right to work. These are explicit directions. So I just don't want you to say greet customer when they walk in. I want you to say welcome to Aggreshop within 5 seconds of them walking in, as explicit as possible. I want you to read what she wrote, modify, change. If you want to use bullet points, you can use bullet points, but like I said, they should be explicit. Something like greet the customer when they come in is unacceptable. You need to be as explicit as possible. Next little component, making item recommendations. That is the goal of sales representatives. They're always trying to add on, just like when you go to McDonald's, they ask you if you want fries or an apple pie. That is their job. So you want to share some recommendations. If you might want to identify if what the event that they're going to, or are they just going to use this for work, or where are they going with this new outfit that they need? And just get some information from them and then make the recommendations. If they're saying they're on a budget, don't be recommending higher price items, right? So I want you to go through this and recommend that as well, or make some recommendations to that. And then last but not least, completing the sales transaction. Let's take a look at what she says. At the register, ideally, one sales associate is executing the sale while another is packing up the items. We see that at grocery stores all of the time, right? And includes our signature tissue paper, sticker, and shopping bag. If the store is crowded, one person can complete the entire transaction while others are helping other customers. So that's something that you want to be considerate of as well. I want you to go through it line by line, change, modify. If something seems just too traditional and not realistic, I want you to modify it. So take your own experience. We've all been shoppers at some component of our lives. So take that into consideration. Now, now that we've done that component, next thing we need to do is we need to notify our employees. Remember, people generally do not like change. They may be a little bit defensive. So we want to be positive. Also recognize that we are going to be reducing their commission from 10% to 5%. That is a direct pay cut. However, we can kind of spin it and say, by having happier customers who appreciate our new customer service standards, we can increase the number of customers we have. Happy customers shop more, they're willing to pay more. So be considerate of that as well. Now, I have a little sample of a possible response at the bottom of the assignment. Let me pull this little assignment up here. And so you can take a look at what I have written right down here. And then I pretended that I attached the customer service standards with that. So that's just something to be considerate of as well. You can use this as kind of a guide. You can modify, change as you see fit. Remember, when we are sharing negative news, we can do it directly or we can do it indirectly. If you're going to do it indirectly, you have that buffer, which I consider taking a spoonful of medicine to help a spoonful of sugar to help that medicine go down. So you can use that as an option as well. So if you're going to do indirect, buffer, reasons, bad news, positive closing. So those are the 4 little components for sharing that negative news. And then last but not least, that blog post where we're responding to that customer who says, leave me alone. I like the 3A approach. Acknowledge. We heard you. We appreciate your feedback to us. Apologize. We are sorry you had such a negative experience. Amend. How are you going to make it better? Because of your feedback, we have created a whole new set of standards. We'd like to invite you back, and we're going to entice you by offering you a 20% discount on your next purchase, right? Acknowledge, apologize, amend. Those are the 3 things we're looking for. So thank you so much for your time. Good luck on this assignment. Remember those 3 components one more time. We're going to do the customer service standards, thorough. 2, we are going to write that email to our employees, letting them know of the customer service standards and the deduction in the incentive for them. And the last but not least, we're going to respond to that blog post. Once you've completed that, you are welcome to go for today. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.